Hi class, so we are going to discuss horticopia a little bit so you guys can get an understanding of kind of where we're sitting, what we're doing going forward, and so forth. Horticopia, and it's a one-day event that's going to happen on campus. It's going to happen on April 10th. Times we don't know as of yet. That's really for you guys to decide based on what all it's going to involve. I would highly recommend, because that is a Wednesday, we do it over the open hour and maybe longer into the day. So the open hour on campus is 11:30 to 12:30 each week. Some things that we need to do for sure with the project is we need to coordinate with the Tree Campus USA committee to see if there's some requirements for the events on that. When I talked with Casey Meehan last week, they were looking at, with the event, depending on how we do it, we might actually plant a tree indoors. However, it might not happen on the same day as this event. So we just need to verify with them if that's going to happen or not and go from there. We do need to coordinate with the Human Services Club as to whether they'll be having their chicken queue that day. I have already sent the email out on that. So as of right now, they plan to be part of our event, and more information will be coming on that. The location is going to be in the Cleary Courtyard. So on Western's campus, that is right outside the Union Market, between the Union Market and the Lunda Center, that entire courtyard area. And we can expand beyond that if needed, depending upon what all you guys come up with for this event. We also want to make sure that we're re-engaging other clubs or organizations that have participated in the past. So we want to re-engage the Early Childhood Club, the Food Service Club, and then as many other clubs and organizations that we have on campus, so that we can really bring in more students and staff to the event that you guys are putting together. Over this next week, you guys are putting together contracts and evaluation tools, but you also need to start working and brainstorming with the class and individually. What does this day look like? What does this event look like? What are your guys' ideas? We need to submit at the end of week 7, actually by the Friday during week 7, proposals to Casey Meehan. You guys are going to either do like a PowerPoint, a written summary, or a video proposal of what you guys propose that this event looks like. What do you see as a vision? What can we do with it as business management students to make this event work? So you guys have explored already the sustainability goals over the last couple of weeks. Several of the sustainability goals, 17 of them. How are we going to cover all 17 of them at this event? So I sat down and actually met with Casey Meehan this last week just to get a few different ideas. Here's some of the clubs from last year too, landscape and horticulture, culinary, foundations of teacher education were the clubs from last year. So we need to reach out to those and see if they are going to participate again this year, how they'd like to contribute, and maybe if we come up with some ideas beforehand, that would be great. There is a small budget for this event through Casey, so we will work with that budget. We'll have giveaways that'll happen that day. In the past, they've had Craft for Kids. So with the Crafts for Kids, we'll also coordinate with the daycare center that's right on campus, so we can bring those kids over and they can participate. Some hands-on activities, seeds giveaway, and more. We can also bring in outside community organizations. With bringing in outside community organizations or businesses, to be very clear that they can't sell at this event. So they can promote the idea of sustainability and sustainable practices that they have, but they can't actually sell or recruit at this event. It's just a free Earth Day event to share and spread information. But back to when I met with Casey this last week. So when I met with Casey this last week, shared the flyer that our students in the graphic design program came up with. Tree, Earth Day, Arbor Day, extravaganza, horticopia, graphic that we can add to a poster and include the other information. So that has been created. Along with that, what we were thinking for this event as we are going forward, how can we incorporate online students potentially? How can we incorporate the regional locations into this event? Also such thing as when we're looking at, so this is a sustainability related event. When we're looking at sustainable practices, there are events called free waste, events that you can host that are zero waste events. So something we need to explore is how we can make this event a zero waste event so that we have no waste as we're doing it. As I'm thinking about that, a few things come to mind. There could be several booths at this event, and there's going to be paper, all of these sort of things, but those can be recycled easily and compact. How are we going to get people also engaged to go around to all these booths? So Casey had mentioned that there are apps to do scavenger hunts that we can explore. Even if it has a low fee, we could pick up on that and use that, but we could have a scavenger hunt that day that they could get points for visiting all of the different booths. That could enter them for prizes. So we need to explore some type of app. We also need to look at, besides just the community organization or the campus organizations that we have, what businesses do we have? So some great things that we have going on campus. If you visit the Western Sustainability, you'll see several of the practices. But if we can involve the auto mechanic students, they have several different types of fuel efficient vehicles that we could have and on display. Honda Motor Works has a battery power cell vehicle that we could bring in. We've had them on campus before, but we could bring them in for this event. There are some students in the wood tech areas that are looking at sustainable ways of reusing plant resources that are available. We have the wellness center on campus, and maybe we have some type of yoga happening or something on the green roof that we have in our industrial trades buildings. So those are just a few ideas of some things that we have already going on campus that we could really promote and highlight. We also have in the food services area a new food compactor that turns it all into composite, and then the horticulture students actually take the material from the food scraps and add some nutrients back into it and do their planting and all of that sort of fun stuff. So there may be a way to incorporate that as part of this event as well. So I need you guys to think through this next week. What are some ideas that you guys have? How can we incorporate and plan this event out? What does it look like? What is the big picture proposal that we want to go forward and share with Casey? Several of you had many different ideas as what you were thinking for this event. So now's those time that we really want to incorporate those together and create our proposals. So each team should come up with a proposal that we will send next Friday for them to look at. We'll also share within the class just so you can see everyone else's, and then we will from there start jumping in, contacting different organizations, different clubs, getting them involved in the event, and planning out this entire process. We are in week 6 right now, so we're looking at proposal. So like 6 weeks to plan this event. So we have a lot of work to get done. Traditionally, it takes about 18 hours of planning for each student related to this project. So those are some things to take into consideration. If you guys have questions, let me know. Otherwise, hopefully that helps to brainstorm a few ideas.